this sucks more than anything that has ever sucked before.
Taking off. Through the stratosphere. Look through the telescope.
Now at 5:30, the leader of NASA's human spaceflight stepped down 1 week before the agency plans to launch astronauts from American soil for the first time in 10 years. Douglas Loverro says he's leaving with a very, very heavy heart. Loverro wouldn't specify, but admits he made a mistake and that he, quote, must bear the consequences. He held a position for just less than a year.
Incredible military equipment at a level that nobody's ever seen before. We have no choice, we have to do it with the adversaries we have out there. We have, I call it the super duper missile. And I heard the other night 17 times faster than what they have right now. Then you take the fastest missile we have right now. You've heard Russia has 5 times, and China's working on 5 or 6 times. We have one 17 times, and it's just gotten the go-ahead. 17 times faster, if you can believe that, General. That's something, right? 17 times faster than what we have right now. Fastest in the world by a factor of almost 3. So I just want to congratulate everybody and thank everybody. Space is going to be the future.
And taking things out of this world, another shot at Mission Impossible. Actor Tom Cruise, Elon Musk's SpaceX, and NASA have teamed up to shoot a movie in outer space. And no, although the project is in its early stages, the action flick isn't another sequel to the Mission Impossible series, although the project is still without a studio. NASA's chief confirmed Tuesday that his agency is working with Cruise on a film to be shot aboard the International Space Station. We don't yet know how Tom Cruise will take part, but given his record of performing impressive stunts in many of his films, do expect next-level stunt action. NASA had previously talked about how it would open up its ISS to more commercial ventures, and it was reported back in 2016 that Tom Cruise had previously received astronaut training from NASA in Florida, hoping to join the U.S. mission, but was later discouraged following the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster that killed 7 astronauts.
Super duper missile. So let me get this straight, Mr. President. The newly formed Space Force is working on a missile 17 times faster than the current fastest missile. And we have to do this because of the adversaries out there. We have to do it. Russia's working on it, China's working on it. They got one 5 times, 6 times faster. We got 17 times. That's a factor of 3 for those of you counting. What in the absolute underworld is going on? I don't know. You know when you're watching something and you're just going, do we really live in a world where the president of the most quote-unquote powerful nation in the world is talking like a 5-year-old about weapons? Super duper missile. But you know, okay, so I guess we've been having so much fun talking about the viral COVID hysteria that we've gotten way behind on all the totally not fake space news, but there actually has been a number of stories that I wanted to roll my eyes at, and then I can feel all caught up. But as I'm sure most of you know, the the Space Force flag with the Star Trek insignia, the vector symbol, which I did a video on quite some time ago now. And then at this flag unveiling, he talks about this new missile, part of the Space Force, but it's a new missile, 17 times faster than what's currently out there. And it's like, call me crazy, but I find myself going, I kind of thought these big giant things that we call rockets were technically missiles. In fact, they used to call them that when they called them intercontinental ballistic missiles back in the day. But we seem to have forgotten. So what are they even talking about? Is this missile launched from land? Is it launched from space, from a satellite or a space station or a spaceship? We don't know. And the mainstream press doesn't know either. In fact, there was an NPR article from May 15th where they say Trump teased what he called a new weapon that could attack at such a high speed it would overwhelm an enemy's defenses. I call it the super duper missile, and I heard the other night it's 17 times faster than what they have right now, Trump said. It wasn't immediately clear what missile the president was describing. The U.S. and other advanced powers are known to be developing new hypersonic weapons designed to race at many times the speed of sound. Trump was joined by Secretary of Defense Mark Esper, who praised the president for his efforts to push the new organization within the Defense Department. Wow, many times the speed of sound, huh? So these are missiles that are totally different than the giant missiles that were invented in the 50s that could go many times the speed of sound? How fast do rockets have to go in order to achieve orbital velocity? How fast is the ISS going again? Speaking of the ISS, we're only days away from the first U.S. launched mission to the ISS with SpaceX. And right before that, the director of human spaceflight resigns from NASA, which is pretty interesting. And yeah, he makes some reference to this mistake, but won't say what it is. And NASA actually confirms this, but doesn't comment on it. It's really weird timing. It's an odd story, so who knows? Because he was like the main guy for the Artemis mission, so what is this mistake that he's stepping down for, but they won't say what it is? Maybe it has something to do with his personal life, who knows? But it's a very crazy timing. So I don't know if that's going to factor into anything that develops in the coming days and months. But just craziness, right? I mean, good grief. Tom Cruise is going to be filming a movie on board the ISS. Part of me can't wait to see what nightmare that is going to be, and then part of me just doesn't even want to think about it. I mean, talk about going for broke, right? Tom Cruise wouldn't lie about pretending to be on the space station. He's an actor. And he's not involved in any weird, culty, Illuminati crap at all. No. He's Maverick. Everybody loves Maverick. Maverick wouldn't lie about the space station. You can't make this stuff up, dude. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, I only noticed this because I made a video about it, I think at least over a year ago, maybe closer to 2, about this Simon project. I can't believe it's been that long already. But yeah, it was just this hyped thing that kind of seemed to just disappear and you never heard about it until now. Supposedly this Simon robot AI is on the ISS now with all this very super convincing interactions between this guy and he's just asking it questions and tilting it around and supposedly calibrating it, I guess, but it uses little jets or something to move itself in zero gravity. So I don't know if I'm shocking anyone to say that that's not a difficult thing to fake with CGI and green screens, but I'm pretty sure you guys know that. It's just funny because it's like nobody cares, right? I mean, when you think about it now, it's like you might as well just press on with everything, with all this garbage, because is anybody even really paying attention? Does anybody, it's not really blowing anybody's mind, but it's just the repetition of war propaganda, AI propaganda, all those millions of dollars that were given to the Space Forces. Sorry for all the tens of millions of people that lost their jobs, but we have a super duper missile, so that's something to be excited about. We're making America great again. Super duper great. This has been a really hard video to do because honestly, this kind of thing used to be way more, I don't know, there was at least an element of fun that you could kind of derive from it. at least a superficial level of amusement, but I don't know, I don't even have the energy to talk about how stupid this is. 17 times faster. Wow. It's top secret, of course, so we can't tell you if this is even a missile that's flying in the atmosphere or outside the atmosphere or what in the heck. We spent millions of dollars, but it's like a cartoon. The world is just becoming a cartoon more and more. A big, dumb space alien. I mean, I never actually watched this original series of Flash Gordon, 1936, but Planet of Peril, just episode 1 alone. I mean, it's perfect. Cartoon everything. Cartoon dangers and cartoon saviors and cartoon, space age escapism. And I love the not so subtle racist overtones of 1930s Flash Gordon as well. That seems to be yet another fitting parallel for things coming on today. Evil Emperor Ming? I mean, jeez. It's almost like it's just getting so over the top in so many ways. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's all just a joke on every side. It's a freaking joke. Yeah, they're splitting the country, but they're also diverting people away from so much else that's going on, and it's psychological warfare, like on so many fronts. Just tired of debating with people over trying to get them to see how insane it is, because who wants to believe that the world is this insane? That's the uphill battle, I guess. You're trying to convince somebody that the world is really that insane, and that if you open your eyes and realize it, then you'll be treated as insane. It's not an appealing message, is it? But again, that's why when you hear the president say super duper missile, like a 10-year-old, how does that not sound crazy to everyone? Or like some weird dystopian cartoon? I don't know anymore.
But what about the city of the day after tomorrow, say the year 2000? I think it will be completely different. In fact, it may not even exist at all. Oh, I'm not thinking of the atom bomb and the next Stone Age. I'm thinking of the incredible breakthrough which has been made possible by developments in communications, particularly the transistor and, above all, the communications satellite. These things will make possible a world in which we can be in instant contact with each other wherever we may be, where we can contact our friends anywhere on Earth, even if we don't know their actual physical location. It will be possible in that age, perhaps only 50 years from now, for a man to conduct his business from Tahiti or Bali just as well as he could from London. In fact, if it proves worthwhile, almost any executive skill, any administrative skill, even any physical skill could be made independent of distance. I am perfectly serious when I suggest that one day we may have brain surgeons in Edinburgh operating on patients in New Zealand. When that time comes, the whole world will have shrunk to a point, and the traditional role of a city as a meeting place for man would have ceased to make any sense. In fact, men will no longer commute, they will communicate. They won't have to travel for business anymore, they'll only travel for pleasure. I only hope that when that day comes, and when the city is abolished, the whole world isn't turned into one giant suburb.